Good evening, everyone. So, we are back with our live sessions on Inspire. So, today we have the topic: do scientific theories disprove spiritual truths? So, this question has been asked from Ashutosh, who is from Allahabad. So, we'll discuss this with our guest, Mr. Gaurav Nimje. Mr. Gaurav Nimje, we welcome to our show.
Thank you so much, Yashvir. Am I audible properly?
Yes, Gaurav sir, you are audible.
Okay, and that's great. Okay.
So, as we have the topic, sir, today, do scientific
Mm-hmm.
theories disprove
Yeah.
spiritual truths? So, we'll start with you.
Okay, so welcome back from my side to everyone, and thank you so much for joining us back. So, as Yashvir was telling, this question, interesting question came from our last previous discussed question in which we discussed that are religious people intellectually lazy and atheist more intellectually responsible. So we had a quite interesting discussion on that, and in that point, one point was highlighted. So this question came from that, and we are going to discuss. So just a background of last session. The point which came in that session is atheists generally take in view facts and evidences that are explained by science by logical arguments. And when it comes to spiritual truth, then they say that all these uh, things which are explained by spiritual knowledge are just unreasonable because actually they are not directly perceivable, or we can say that they are not directly in our experience. So they claim that they more or less condemn that these explanations are not very practical, whether they are about origin of life or creation of universe or life on other planets. So आजकल तो even in India there are many बड़ी बड़ी blockbuster movies बन चुकी हैं, है ना, इन सब topics पे. तो नाम तो सुना ही होगा आप लोगों ने. So anyway, let's get back to the question. So do scientific theories disprove spiritual truth? Okay. So let's see. Theories actually are meant to explain something about a phenomena, about a happening, or any evidence and fact that we see in nature. So actually, even to explain theories, we need what explains the theory. You get the point? A theory explains a phenomena, but to explain that theory, an explanation is also needed. I will give you a very interesting example. Like you are sitting in your room and watching this live session. One of your friends or maybe your relative enters the room and he just asks, "Oh, what's this going on?" And you tell, "Oh, he's a guy from Inspire and he is just giving a live session with a question and I'm listening to it." So he came first time across the live session and he just asked, "Oh, how it's going live means how you are able to see that person." So you explain to him, actually, this is Facebook, this is an online platform in which you can stream live videos. Yeah. Okay. So okay, the live video is being streamed. So how it is actually taking place, how it's getting into your mobile. Then you further explain that actually Facebook is with the help of internet, it is actually streaming this, broadcasting this video all over, and through internet we are also connecting to that link and getting the access or data. Yeah. Then he asked, okay, so how is this getting through that Facebook to you? So again you explain further that actually there is a mobile device like I have, and the person sitting here just in front of you, right? So what he is doing, he has switched on his mobile, and the mobile is recording the digital signals and sending them over internet, and that same we are receiving here, and this session is happening, correct? Oh, so he says, oh, so that's the thing where this live session is going on. That's because this live session is going on. Now, I would like to ask a question to all listeners. Is this the correct explanation? Okay.
In this regard,
Now, yeah, Yashvir would like to say?
in this regard, what we see is that scientific theories, these are explanations which are between two objects,
Okay.
which were already
Okay, so the data has, I think, some blockage. Yeah, so it stopped streaming. Anyway, the Yashvir will get back soon. So I was asking the question, is this the complete explanation? Now you see, yes, it's the proper explanation, or scientifically it's correct, but it's not the whole complete thing, because actually there is one more reason. Because I want to host that live session, that's why the live session is going on. Yeah. So this presents so there may be a personal explanation and there is a mechanical explanation also. So you see, in both cases, the explanations are correct. But and the personal and mechanical both can work in parallel properly. Yeah. So Yashvir's got back. Do you have some argument, Yashvir?
Yeah. So I was telling
Yeah.
that the theory which Einstein gave like E is equal to mc square. Now, this theory which Einstein gave was like this nature is satisfying this theory. So somewhat actually
Yeah.
theory was already existing and Einstein just discovered it. So how we can
Correct.
explain this to our viewers that actually the scientific theories are the substance of what is already existing.
Okay. Regarding that, I would give you a very interesting example from, I collected one, I read a paper of Eugene Wigner. Do you know him, Eugene Wigner?
Yeah, I heard name of that.
Well, Eugene Wigner is a Nobel laureate in physics, and he is greatly known for his contribution to atomic nuclear energy reactors, as well as quantum mechanics formulation. So he is quite a big personality. So he actually wrote a paper, the unreasonable effectiveness of mathematics in natural sciences. You get the topic? Unreasonable means
Yes,
it's
yes.
not explainable, it's not reasonable. Effectiveness, unreasonable effectiveness of something means something is effective, you are not able to reason why it is effective. So the unreasonable effectiveness of mathematics in natural science. I will give you one very nice example, what he wrote in the paper actually. He gave an example. Just think, you are going on the roadside, you are about to visit some friend, and suddenly you find a pair of keys on the road. Now you pick it up and you reach a house which was locked. Then with that key, you open the lock and the door gets open. Well, that's great. There's again many rooms and they are locked. So you again try that key and open the lock, and well, to your surprise, it also gets open. And in that way, you are able to open every door. Now, this is a very interesting phenomena. the set of keys what you find was just accidental, and you visited a house and unlocked it. But he told in his paper, because the key unlocked the lock, that is a different thing. And the thing different from it is that house and the key, which were made to function like that, were already existing. That are completely different things. So what happens actually is finding the keychain.
Time Gaurav says.
And yeah. Okay. So finding the keychain and there existing a house which can get opened by that keychain is a very strange thing, and it is beyond the key and lock functioning. Correct? So similarly, when science studies nature, it's like it finds the law. Like you said, Einstein found the law, E equal to mc square. And the law explains. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just reaching that point.
Okay.
So this law explains that this thing works like that, or this is the equation, the key, and this is the lock, the phenomena. And when you combine that, you get unlock the secret. Correct? But the equality which exists, E equal to mc square. Who created that equality? Who created that lock and the key to get open? That's a view what he gave in his paper. Yeah. So of course the scientists do deserve the credit for discovering the laws. And you see, like there are most the mathematical concepts which we create are actually made by human mind. I will give you an example how. When I say a mango, then when I say the word mango, there exists an equality. एक mango exist करता है nature में, correct? A mango object. जब मैं बोलता हूँ cow, तो एक cow exist करती है nature पे. अब मैं बोलता हूँ square root. Can you find an existing object in nature like that?
No.
कुछ find कर पाते हैं? या फिर मैं बोलता हूँ imaginary number I under root -1, है ना? Imaginary number I. Do you find some object there?
No.
No. So these are actually the concepts. Actually, they have no equivalent in nature. So why should nature follow these equations? That's an interesting point. Why, like there is no equivalent in nature, why should nature follow this equations? Correct? So Eugene was explaining in his paper that why nature is working mathematically is actually a gift to us, and we do not know the reason, neither we understand why it is so that nature is working mathematically. So only we can be grateful. Yeah.
So can we say that whatever scientific theories that we have, they partially explains this nature, or just they are trying to explain, and in that they are failing, and then again they are getting up and they are again failing. So in that people are getting like confused, and so they like say that the scientific theories that disproves spiritual truth or this nature.
Yeah. So actually, like I gave you the example of the door and the key. So the door and the key, it's not like the key is not able to open the lock or it is wrong. Yes, the key can open the lock. Yeah, the theories which are proposed explain the phenomena of the nature. But that does not explain why this phenomena is explainable. क्यों एक्चुअली ये फिनोमिना एक्सप्लेनेबल है ये नहीं बता सकते वो. करेक्ट? द नेचर, द साइंस कैन टेल यू this fact exists, this law exists, and this works like that, but it does not tell you why this law exists, who set the things in that order, why it is being followed here like that. And we see that if we take spirituality and science as two different branches of knowledge, then there is no contradiction between them actually. What science does is it explains the phenomena that is existing or correlation that is existing between the pre-existing, जो पहले से ही objects हैं उनके बीच में जो relation है उसको explain करता है science. And but what we find in spirituality is that why those things exist and why they are interrelated to each other, this is explained in spirituality. So as such, there is no contradiction actually.
Okay. So now viewers, you can see like those, when we see that these two are different branches, then we can perceive the things in right way. And if we consider them as a single branch, then we get confused. So I would like Gaurav sir to give little more explanation in this, because our audience is like normally they are students, so they normally get confused with these things. So I request you to give little more explanation on that, so that they may have little bit more clear view on this.
Okay, so I think you can get some side from the lock and the key. So the lock is actually the laws of nature, and the key is that equation, and it opens. But the room and the lock and the key, that mechanism, it's itself outside the explanation of that laws. Okay, now I give an much easier example. Suppose all of you are must be fan of footballs there, maybe, or cricket anyway, Anna. So in cricket, like there is the last ball of the match and there is a 6 runs required to win, and the last ball is thrown and the player in front gets in front and goes and swings his bat and hits a wonderful, magnificent 6. And whole the audience ruptures into screams and all sorts of cheering. Yeah.
Gaurav
So
sir,
he
आपको
wins
लगता
the
है,
match.
गौरव सर आपको लगता है 2011 वर्ल्ड कप की याद आ गई?
Yeah. लगता है कोविड में पता नहीं कैसे होगा, मास्क पहन के तो नहीं खेला जाएगा. Anyway, so the players were all celebrating and the coach and the team members were very enthusiastic, and somebody came to the coach and he was very fascinated by this player, and he asked coach से उन्होंने पूछा कि can you please tell me how this player hit the ball so well? इतने अच्छे से उसने hit कैसे किया? And do you know, the coach gravely replied, yeah, that's because of gravity. Now that's an interesting answer, correct? And now you can explain that because the ball was hit with the bat with so much force, and it gave it such a velocity that it went high in the air, able to overcome the gravity for some time, and after the parabolic function it landed outside the stadium, basically the field, outside the field. Yeah, right. But this phenomena, gravity, although explaining the phenomena, does it explain why the player hit the ball?
No.
Does it explain why the ball was existing or why the match was being played? It's completely outside the explanation of that phenomena, correct? Yes. So in the same way, science will not be able to explain why the things existing, correct? And that's where spirituality comes into picture. So I hope it's much clearer with this example.
Yeah, this also explains the limitedness of our science. Yeah. Yes.
You see, where one science is actually not wrong, but it explains a part, and not it cannot explain outside its scientific explanation. Yeah.
Explain some part and leaving another part for the users. So, like some of them who are in spirituality and who also understand science, they perceive that thing and they didn't get confused. And the others who are just running behind science and they leave the spiritual part as it is, so they get confused. So I think this is the thing. So
Yeah, you can just focus on that. This example that was given by Eugene Wigner. It's quite an interesting, right? And
yeah,
he's a man of science himself.
yeah. If I see from the perspective of atheist, like they like pure atheist, they see that like tells that nothing was there and nothing blasted, and out of the nothing everything came.
Yeah. Yeah, correct. Yeah, same.
So viewers, we will be back with our next sessions uh, soon. So I would like Gaurav sir to conclude on this topic so we can finish our session.
The concluding point is the as we see that science and spirituality, they actually are not contradicting each other, but there is a limitation of explanation. To a limit, science explains. Basically, what I mean to say is science can explain the mechanical phenomena or mechanism behind that. In that, it is not wrong. But science does not explain you why that mechanism is actually happening or why that mechanism exists. Correct?
Yes.
So in that way, if you both combine both very strongly, then you get a complete picture.
Yeah. So thank you, users. Thank you, our viewers, for watching us. So in short line, I would just like to say, like if you're just following science, then you are in limited vision. And if you want to have higher vision of that thing, then just take both the things, science and spirituality, and let's see the things. Okay. Thank you, everyone. We'll meet again. Thank you. Bye bye. Thank you,
Thank
Gaurav
you
sir.
so much. Thank you, Yashveer.